Hey, let's take a live look now across the country. Check out a foggy Houston. That is going to be on your top left. Then we've got a little skyline hiding behind a low cloud ceiling there. Oh, but look elsewhere around the country. A frozen river in Milwaukee, a snowy New York and Michigan at the bottom of your screens. Very, very different around the rest of the country. All of this courtesy of EarthCam. We are just looking at a little bit of ice. They got, as they say, bigger problems elsewhere.
I know. I have been getting a lot of questions about that. Why are we not going to see the snow? We're just too warm at the upper and mid levels. We're going to get freezing, but only at the surface. And so that snowflake melts, and then when it reaches the ground, it causes big, big issues. Ice is about the worst thing you can get with a winter storm. It's much more manageable to get snow. Unfortunately, we are talking about ice and widespread impacts, not just here locally, but across the country. Notice our ice potential for this weekend, most of us, it'll be manageable. We're talking about a trace amount, 1/10 of an inch. Manageable in the sense of preserving power, but not manageable in terms of driving. You want to stay off the road, even with the lightest amount of accumulation of ice. Huntsville, that's going to be an area that I'm going to pay close attention to because 1/4 of an inch of ice, that is enough to knock down power. I'll talk to you about why that is here in a moment. Look at current temperatures across the country. We're talking about negatives, close to 20 degrees below zero for Minneapolis, for all of Minnesota, really. You'll notice the Dakotas also have fallen below zero. Houston's at 62 for now, but come Monday morning, we're going to get a shot of cold air. 18 degrees, that's going to be your actual air temperature waking up on Monday, 6 in the morning. It's going to feel like it's 5 degrees though, because we're going to have a wind chill. So it is cold and it is windy, it is blustery for the start of the week. But first we got to get through the winter weather. I know we've got ties all across the Lone Star State, so let me talk to you about that travel forecast for today. Dallas, a cold rain for now. This evening, already surfacing for the northern part of the state. You'll notice the pink, that is that freezing rain picking up the pace for North Texas and then starting to drop down to the 35 corridor as we head into the overnight hours. Saturday morning, we're looking at widespread heavy rain, but most of the issues still to our north, and then things change. As we continue to see those cold temperatures moving down across the state, the concerns come home. You'll notice ice starts becoming a problem right here in Houston as we are going into the overnight hours for early Sunday. We're going to be waking up with a thin coating of ice. The moisture wraps up early on Sunday, but the damage is done. We could have a coating of ice on the roads, and I do not want you driving in it. You'll notice moisture wraps up. However, the cold temperatures continue to trickle in. Like I showed you, Monday morning is going to be the coldest. This is a crippling ice event across the country. We're talking about trace amounts here in Houston, but some spots, Louisiana, Mississippi, all the way into the Carolinas could see 1/2 inch to 1 inch of ice. That is going to have widespread cancellations. I'm not even talking about delays. I'm talking cancellations. I don't think many of us are going to make it anywhere on Sunday. That's because planes have to be completely ice-free. And that means as folks are sitting on their plane, maybe their plane didn't have ice for that moment, it could have accumulation as they're waiting. Crews have to make sure that the runway doesn't have any ice, the jet bridges, the walkways. It is going to be a mess. For us, even the light coating means that you do not want to be driving. Now, does this have an implication towards power outages? The spots that I showed you, Huntsville with 1/4 of an inch of ice expected, there could be localized power outages there in particular neighborhoods because while the grid for the state could withstand the kind of ice, those particular neighborhoods that get this amount will have the weight of about 500 pounds on top of a power line that's 1,000 feet long. So that is a lot of weight, and that would mean that that power line comes down. So just monitor the situation closely. We'll be doing that, of course. Notice here locally, it's a cold rain tomorrow morning. So if you forgot something at the grocery store, you have to run out, it's okay. By the evening, though, I want you to be inside because the later on in the day we go, that's when we start to transition from just a cold rain to a freezing rain, which is dangerous. Sunday morning, more of that because temperatures continue to tumble. Yes, precipitation ends. However, if temperatures stay below freezing, which that's what I'm expecting at this point, whatever's on the ground, frozen solid, stays that way. Live look outside, a good preparation day. We are pretty mild. 62 degrees for your Friday. We are going to stay in the 60s throughout the day. A good idea to carry the umbrella with you. Yes, you could run into a couple of spotty showers throughout the day, but really the big mess comes in this weekend into Monday. Weather impact alert day on Saturday. Cold rain, preparing for the overnight ice on the roads on Sunday. And then Monday's weather impact alert is because of the dangerous cold, a hard freeze, temperatures in the teens with the wind chill in the single digits. Things finally get better on Tuesday. Highs in the 50s and eventually highs in the 60s on Wednesday, Sherman.
All right, we just got to hold out for a couple days.
Yeah.
Thanks, Kim.